Friday's match came down to the wire. Saturday could be a treat for more of the same as a Big Ten Conference matchup between Rutgers and Michigan State gets ready for first pitch here on Big Ten Plus. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Jack Stager. Next to me is my broadcast partner for today, Jacob Maurer. And Jacob, yesterday, 0-0 going into the top of the seventh, and Rutgers scoring the first runs of the game, coming away with a 3-0 victory.
Yeah, really in that game, the defenses for both teams were the story. Until the top of that seventh inning, Michigan State had a couple of defensive miscues. Rutgers took advantage, scored 3 runs in the top of that frame, and that was the difference.
Yeah, and a big part of that infield and of that defensive attack for Rutgers and the Scarlet Knights was Morgan Smith.
Yeah, she pitched yesterday 5 scoreless innings for the Scarlet Knights. She was fantastic, but remember, Jack, she can bat as well, has nearly a 1,400 OPS and 19 home runs to go along with that. Both those lead her team and the conference in those categories. When she makes an impact, she can make you pay. She's a dangerous at-bat. Will be a tough out for Michigan State. Look for her to make an impact in today's game.
An impact throughout the whole series Morgan Smith will be looking for. And for Michigan State, they've had troubles with errors all season. They need some help kind of in the infield and in the batting as well. But a huge help for them and a star for the offense this season has been Hannah Hawley.
Hannah Hawley has been consistent as they come from Michigan State, leading off in just about every game for the Spartans. Why? Because she gets on base. She has a 10-game on-base streak going for Michigan State, trying to make it 11 in today's game. That would be her season high. She bats .346 on the season for Michigan State. What really makes her dangerous is she can hit it in any part of the field, just trying to be a spark for this Michigan State offense.
Yeah, and that .346 average is definitely something that these Rutgers pitchers will be looking for and something to be careful with when throwing against Hawley. So a really good matchup ready for us here in East Lansing, but moments before first pitch, Joe Dez, our sideline reporter, has a little more.
Thank you, Jack and Jacob.
Exactly what she does best. Jack, we mentioned it just a minute ago. She knows how to get hits, finding the open field on that Michigan State defense, pounding the first pitch into center field, and that's how Rutgers wants to start this afternoon. That's a great job by Bashirs there, knowing where she is relative to the infield. She was close to that Michigan State dugout as we take a look here, knowing her surroundings, keeping an eye on the ball, and able to make a fantastic catch. And that's a nice job by Lawson. She usually plays second base for the Scarlet Knights, but the injury to Lynn Cavage puts her at third, able to make a nice defensive play early. Jack, just as you queued up, great rip there, able to get it right down that left field line. Nice job, though, on defense by Anderson, able to get it in quickly, hold Dolazecki just a one base, but still key for Michigan State if they can attack Boyd early.
Scarlet Knights.
And Fox had 2 options here. She could have went with the double play, but her run would have scored. But instead, she goes home. It's a force out with the bases loaded. All Hawley needs to do is catch this ball from Fox. She does. Out number 1 here in the top of the second inning. Huge for Michigan State.
The plate was Maddie Lawson.
And that's big for Rutgers. Anderson did her job. Nice solid contact. Plenty deep enough to get the run home. Lawson scoring for the Scarlet Knights. Big RBI here. We saw in yesterday's game, every run matters, and Rutgers needed to take advantage of bases loaded, nobody out, and now, no matter what, they at least got 1 run out of it.
For the Scarlet Knights.
And 2 runs already scoring for the Scarlet Knights, but the story in this inning is defense for Michigan State. Another costly error for the Spartans, and now the inning stays alive. You had a chance to get the most dangerous batter out, and just couldn't handle it there. Yeah, but able to have a nice defensive play here. Taylor taking it herself, flips it over to first, gets out of the jam, but not before Rutgers strikes with 2.
One just fell right into the glove.
And Jack, we talked about the defense. Michigan State struggling in the top of this inning, but Rutgers starting off the bottom of the second strong. Lawson not used to playing third base for the Scarlet Knights. Made a fantastic defensive play there. Able to dive right to her right, make the catch. Beautiful play.
Jacob.
And just went a little bit too far. Another at-bat where we see 3 straight strikes and 3 straight swinging strikes. Maddie Boyd went with that outside down low pitch, a nasty pitch that Wash could not hold off of.
3 degrees.
Yeah, you mentioned the sun has been a little inconsistent today, but not the wind. It is blowing into the outfield. Jack, I would not be surprised if we see some big flies here today. The wind will definitely help in that department, but always good to see a nice day in Michigan. We saw it yesterday. We see it again today. Hopefully spring has finally arrived because we know that Mother Nature likes to play a lot of pranks on the Michigan residents.
Yeah, well, I hope this weather's here to stay because I'm looking to get out to golf consistently. Smith.
Speaking of golf, someone who can just golf it out to the outfield is Morgan Smith. 19 home runs on the season. Had a big swing in the first, trying to replicate that.
Takes her base over on first, and that single coming through.
And talk about the perfect position. 1 bet diving, 2 diving. The perfect spot where no Spartan could get it. And now on base with only 1 out. Rutgers took advantage in the top of the second with their base runners. We'll see if they can start stockpiling more here. That's great situational awareness. She knows where she was at the diamond. Knew there was a runner at second. Force out there. Strong throw to first. Double play for the Spartans.
Cedar and the Spartans get on the board.
And Jack, we mentioned the wind. It's blowing out there in the outfield. Good contact from any batter in this game, and it will have a good chance to go over. Holly attacking that first pitch, and no doubt about it, deep in left center field, just gulfs it over. A huge run for the Spartans. Yeah, that was a nice shot by MSU. She came in a little bit too much, though, but luckily the bounce was right into her glove. So we see another replay here. Just a little chopper down that first base line. Look at Bashir. She comes up early, but luckily that bounce right in her glove, able to step on the base for out number 1.
Now Michigan State runners on first and second.
And again, Fox goes opposite field. This one finds the outfield grass. Look at just a little bit of late swing. She'll run up on that pitch and get it on Sand, who was playing just a little bit in, just over her jumping glove into the green grass and left.
The lead.
And that's why it pays to have aggressive base running. And Michigan State had 2 runners in scoring position, able to score. And Janae Wash took advantage. This should only be a single, but she was able to time it up perfectly. Saw the throw go to home. She moved over to second base, and now Michigan State has another runner in scoring position. It pays to have speed, and Michigan State taking their first lead in this game. And the question is, why would she bunt there with 2 outs? Well, it's because she has such good speed. She can outrun those. She's not trying to make it a sacrifice. She's actually trying to get on base with that technique. It's worked for her before. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another bunt attempt here, especially with the Rutgers infield a little bit off. Now they've moved a little bit in. It'll be interesting what Ross decides to do here.
Hanging out on a Saturday evening, almost like me and you, Jacob. Just hanging out up here today. It's a beautiful day.
I wonder if that Frog's made his way over to Sekia Stadium. Maybe he hears the noise and is like, hey, what's going on? I want to see a primetime Big Ten softball game.
That Frog's got to watch out because some home runs have been hit today. One of them was from Hannah Hawley, and that was the only one hit. But I wouldn't, if I was a betting man, Jacob, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the only home run that we saw today. There's a lot of power in a lot of these bats, and especially in Kaylee Sand right here.
I wonder if the Frog has some prop bets going for multiple home runs in this game. I wouldn't doubt him. As we know, the wind is blowing out there in the outfield. A lot of power hitters in both of these lineups. And we got a close game here with the top batter for Rutgers up to bat.
And just like that, the Scarlet Knights tie things up here at Sekia Stadium.
And that's a big at-bat for Kayla Sand. Able to get it over the center field wall, able to tie this game up. The Frog was right, multiple home runs in this game using the wind. Her second home run of the season. She's not really a power hitter, but this one, she comes up huge for the Scarlet Knights. And talk about the good defense. Janae Wash able to make this catch up against the wall and fires a laser to third base. Able to get the advancing Scarlet Knight. Look at this great pop from Wingert, and Wash finding her awareness, able to make the catch on the warning track and guns this to McAnthony. See that umpire pump that fist. Huge play for Michigan State.
So 2 opportunities missed for Michigan State.
And it would have been a great defensive play if she made this catch. I almost thought she did, but I didn't understand why she didn't just allow it to bounce in front of her, make the easy throw over to first base. Chavez has speed, but she wasn't there yet. Instead, Allen went for the dive attempt, trying to get the out, and the risk did not turn out to be good for her. It was a rocket, opposite field, but a lot of power from Herka's bat. Able to get it just over McAnthony's glove, and a huge insurance run for the Scarlet Knights. Michigan State took the lead in the bottom of the 4th, and Rutgers has really responded here in the top of the 5th. Scarlet Knights have struck blood here in the top of the 5th inning. 3 runs for them, but Michigan State able to get out of it. Only down 2 runs. We'll see what they can do in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Battle under that one because that had some steam on it.
And Dolzecki putting the press to the paper there, but Anderson able to make the catch on the run. That's a tough play, catching it with the glove underneath. Still good enough for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Defense has really shown up for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Words, and they're all the same. Defense, defense, defense. A great defensive play for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. That's why Boyd is staying in this game. She's had great defense all game long. We'll move on to the top of the 6th inning with Rutgers up by 2.
And runners advance.
And Mullen has a lot of speed on her pitches, just not a lot of good control. You saw it there. She'll try to get back into her prime location. Chopped early. It just had a big hop that McAnthony wasn't able to get off her glove and into the outfield. An unfortunate break for Michigan State, and Rutgers taking advantage.
Ava.
She is happy about that one, especially with how much of a dangerous hitter Morgan Smith is. Went with a rise fastball, beautiful pitch. Morgan Smith not able to catch up to that one. Her first strikeout in this game. That's huge for their young freshman. Jack, I have no idea why Colette Allen is getting this ball. This is the center fielder's 10 times out of 10. Alexis Ross must not have been strong enough on that communication, but that you never want your infielder backpedaling to try to make that play. It's always easier for the center fielder coming in to make that catch. A big miscommunication for this Michigan State defense. It's the same one. She's dominant in the batter's box, and she's dominant in the circle. Yesterday for the Scarlet Knights, she pitched 5 scoreless innings, and now she's called upon to finish this game. We saw in yesterday's game, Boyd pitched 2 innings, and then Smith pitched 5. Now, maybe in this game, we'll see Boyd, who pitched the first 5 innings, and now Smith comes in to try to get the final 2 under control for the Scarlet Knights, trying to maintain this 4-run lead.
7-4.
And that's what you need if you're the Spartans. A good piece of contact from Wash. Plenty deep enough to get the run home. Michigan State, you can't mess up this opportunity with runners at the corners. They at least get one, trying to pile on more here.
To us today, I'm Jack Stager. Next to me is my broadcast partner for today, Jacob Maurer. And we say thank you for listening. And a huge shout out to our director and producer today, Briggs Maloney, our producer, making the magic happen, and our director, Matt McCullough, for directing L.A. Matthews.
And Jack, we saw it in the top of the 6th inning, L.A. Matthews with that big clutch hit, and she does it again in the 7th inning. No amount of insurance runs are enough. She rips this one into the left center field gap. With Sand's speed around the bases, she's able to score easily. A big insurance runs for the Scarlet Knights. Big hits, they can be contagious. Another one where Smith attacked the first pitch, and this one's a little bit of a deja vu situation. The same exact spot, another double, scores a run. Now up by 5 runs are Rutgers. Huge for the Scarlet Knights, especially when Michigan State only has 4 runs. If you're able to double your lead and even get up by 5, that's going to be hard to come back from if you're Michigan State. Ava Mullen was rolling earlier in this inning, but now back-to-back big hits from the Scarlet Knights. She'll have to try to calm herself down and really respond for Michigan State.
Alley sitting down 5. And we've seen a few furry friends today and a couple shots around East Lansing. Furry friends, We've seen, you know, a couple frogs. All of the wildlife is out today.
No, it's good to see Jack and the squirrel eating some nuts. You want to know what's nuts? 16 hits from the Scarlet Knights. Their bats have been on fire in this game, especially Morgan Smith in the circle for the Scarlet Knights, now trying to close this one out for Rutgers. And that was a nasty drop pitch there. Morgan Smith and this entire Rutgers defense and even the batting, it was all working today for the Scarlet Knights. A big victory for them as they take the series against the Spartans.
So Michigan